sold $25 million worth of product. And you ready, boys? Let's do it. Yeah. I don't hear you. I think mine's on and his isn't.
Testing, testing. Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome this afternoon on June 14th. It's a hot day and sunny, and we finally got rid of that rain for a while. So it's good to have you here today. My name is Dennis Shaver, and I'll be going through the slides here as we guide through this process here. First of all, I want to welcome everybody. I know you got busy schedules, and it's so important to be able to also be available to help these startup founders as they evolve forward on their journey with these pitches today. We have a full schedule today. We're starting at the introduction and the welcome, of course, and this will be after I'm done talking. I'll have Dan Radomski speak for a little bit, and then also have the program introduction and also meet our funders, which we really appreciate our funders, don't we? And then also we'll introduce our panel of judges here, which our esteemed judges sitting up front here, all excited to see your pitches today. And hopefully they'll be easy on you, right? And then from there, we'll actually get into our first pitch session. The first pitch session will consist of 4 presenters. Each will have 4 minutes to give their pitch, followed by 4 minutes of Q&A by the panel of judges. So then we follow through from there. After that, we'll have a break, and you'll be able to network. There's lots of amazing faces I recognize here. There's also some faces that I've seen online on Zoom, and now we finally get to meet. So it's really good to have you here, as well as the folks who are online virtually as well. We appreciate your attendance today. Then we'll have a fireside chat. This is a great opportunity here with our amazing CEO, Dan Radomski. Most of you know him. If not, you're going to meet him later. And he's going to be talking to Crema Eve, and she's from Guildform, and talking about successful manufacturing startup challenges and also breakthroughs. Following that will be 5 more pitches after that, and they'll be 4 minutes each, as I mentioned earlier, with 4 minutes Q&A. And then following that will be the judges' deliberation. This is where they'll sit down behind the scenes and talk about you, the presenters, and find out who is going to be lined up for the potential to receive the award later. Speaking of awards, this is huge. As most of you know, we just gave you the news yesterday. There's going to be some awards today. So everybody's going, yeah, this is great. And we're really glad for that as well. We have 3 awards, actually 4 awards, but the 3 awards will be through Centropolis Accelerator for services. And that is $5,000 for the runner-up, and then also $5,000 for the second place, $10,000 for the runner-up, and then $15,000 for the winner. So you all that are pitching today is your day for the A game, and I know you'll do great. Just be yourself. And then also we're going to have a People's Choice Award where you can vote yourselves online via our QR code that we'll provide later, and you'll be able to vote for who you feel is the People's Choice Award winner. So with that said, before I get started to our introduction here, it's funny, I come to an event like this and all I hear about is hockey. And I know that being in Detroit, our favorite team is who? Red Wings, absolutely. And our infamous CEO loves to play hockey. He has the scars to show for it, but you should see the other people. And the thing is that Dan is an amazing CEO and effective leader who effectively leads others to lead themselves, like our startup founders. He's an amazing coach, amazing guide, and it's amazing to be part of this tribe of startup innovators to be led by you and the team, Dan. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Dan Radomski.
Thank you, Dennis. Those were kind words, and I consider myself very fortunate to be a part of this Centropolis team and more broadly Lawrence Tech University. We've been at this about 6 years now, where we developed a hard tech accelerator to help people bring their products to market, and none of this would be here today and hearing the progress of these wonderful inventors that have come ideas with just ideas they have that have been dreams to them, right? And to see them make it to market or very close to market would not be possible without our broader team. So I'd like to thank Pedro Guillen, our Chief Operating Officer, our VP of Operations, Heather Boyd, of course, Dennis, Riley Lenhard, Client Manager, all our wonderful LTU fellows and interns, the rest of our team, which includes now 30 plus engineers that all help support our clients with a wide variety of product development, engineering, material selection, manufacturing, design for manufacturability, support, people like David Bolognino in the back of the room. And what we've really done here is unique. You'll see what our mission is here and our mantra, and it's really about taking people that have ideas and helping them bring that dream to reality, right? And more importantly, get those products to market where they can provide a real meaningful and lasting impact to the markets and the people they're trying to serve. But more importantly, also get those products manufactured here in Michigan. One of the reasons I got involved in this is I grew up a machinist. I've been in manufacturing my whole life, product development my whole life. I used to run a vehicle engineering firm before I did this. And I saw more and more products being made overseas, and I just wanted to do something about it. I wanted to be able to help wonderful people like this, not only recognize their dream and get it there, but get it made here locally, right? And we're really blessed here in Michigan. I really can't take a lot of credit for it. It's really just mobilizing the community that's already here, especially in the Metro Detroit area. We are best in the world at designing and engineering products. We always talk about our manufacturing bench strength, how good we are at manufacturing. The part of the manufacturing process where you design the product to drive out cost, complexity, design to be durable and reliable, we're best in the world at it in Michigan, particularly in Detroit. And all we've done is harness that skill set that is here and bring these ideas to reality. So glad that you're all here today and get to hear the wonderful stories and the products that are in process right now. We are blessed to have the support from the city of Southfield, represented here today by Mayor Cyber and Shelley Freeman, and WAFA with the New Economy Initiative, who have been funding our initiatives since we were founded about 6 years ago, specifically the Micromaker Evolution Lab program that supports underrepresented entrepreneurs and those that are trying to develop businesses locally in the Southeast Michigan area. So thank you so much for your support. And it was really them that really saw the vision of what we were trying to do, even when we were still learning how to do it well. and now, we're very blessed to be able to not get 100+ products to market, many of which are founders here in Southeast Michigan, including underserved firms. So, and again, this is how we do it. We take experienced engineers, often marry them with student engineers to ensure that these products are designed the right way. They drive out costs, part count, ensure that, like I said, they're going to operate in the environment reliably, and that ultimately we can get to the price point to these products so the company can have a margin, right? They could have a sustainable margin-based business. And it's really hard to do with hard tech compared to software. So we actually work very closely with other incubators in the state, TechTown, even New Lab and others that and mutually help support the companies. But what we bring that no other incubator in the world brings is in-house design, engineering, prototyping, and manufacturing services. We really can go from idea all the way to production, and we work closely with our partners, including the other Smart Zone incubators, to make that happen. So we have material experts, design for manufacturability experts, manufacturing process experts. We have tooling designers, really everything you need to be successful. And again, we use our LTU students and other students at other universities to help support as allowing them a workforce development effort and pathway to market. What's also a little bit unique about Centropolis, for those that are new to us, is that we not only support startups and inventors, but also established firms. And the reason we did that is when it comes to developing hard tech, physical products, really amazing amount of innovation that comes from established manufacturers. Think about it, they're making things, right? So naturally they're gonna come up with a product or an advanced material or manufacturing method as a result of the work they're doing. So you'd be surprised that 40% of all of our clients are established small business. And sometimes they just wanna launch a new product and they maybe not launch a new company. So having a service that supports them is really important for our region. This is our team. I already kind of went around the room with thanks. I may have missed a few people, including our lab manager, John Bracknell, Karen Pollock, certainly Victoria Smith, who's here, our marketing specialist. So again, it's really our team and our broader team of engineers that really provide the services and support to clients on a day-to-day basis that make them successful, so we couldn't do it without them. In fact, let's take a stop here to really thank the Centropolis team. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, team. And that team, as I mentioned, extends to 30 plus wonderful engineers, right? And I talked about their skill sets, but you need electronics engineering expert, we have one, right? You need a mechanical engineering expert, robotic engineer, design for manufacturability, we have it. And that's, again, all we have done is harness the talent that's already here in the Detroit region. And what's a little bit unique about us is there's plenty of programs that have mentors, but the mentors are only there for kind of high-level advice. What's unique about what we've done is we actually have developed and secured financing where we can actually embed these engineers and business experts with our clients as an extension of their team. And many of our experts will be really a part of our client's team for 6 months, 12 months, sometimes longer, really whatever it takes to help them successfully get their product to market. And as they are successful and grow, obviously then they can eventually hire their own team. I talked about our involvement as students. We have officially a fellows program where we're working with both engineering students and business students to be directly involved with our companies. So we have electrical, mechanical engineering students that are actually helping to design, engineer the products you're going to hear from today, as well as business school students that are helping with the business strategy, doing competitive landscape research, go-to-market planning, market segmentation, developing pitch decks, really everything you need all the way through fundraising. So, and again, I talked about the great fortune we've had from the city of Southfield and New Economy Initiative to launch this Micromaker Evolution program. But we've had funding, I've been blessed with funding from a wide variety of sources now over the last few years, which has really allowed us to scale and help more companies. So we're very, very grateful, obviously, to Lawrence Tech University. We're a department of LTU, but thanks to the support of Michigan Economic Development Corporation, the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, our services cover the entire state of Michigan, where we have funding and services and experts to help companies all over the state. And it's a wide variety of foundations, as you can see here, Ralph Wilson Foundation, William Davidson, and others that have also made a significant contribution to our resources. But to do it well, we need a village, right? And we really caught this inspiration working with New Economy Initiative. They built a beautiful ecosystem to support entrepreneurs throughout Southeast Michigan, particularly in Wayne County and Detroit. And a lot of the organizations you see here make sure that our services are known, right? And that they're very inclusive and available to underrepresented entrepreneurs and companies in distressed communities, not just here in the region, but more broadly across the state. So we're very grateful and thankful for their support. And as a result of all this support, we're getting stuff done, man. We're getting things made here. So too often we don't promote what we've already done. So we've had 100 plus products designed, engineered, prototyped, and manufactured in Michigan. These are examples of some of the companies from Pingree, Detroit that makes leather goods to companies like Celsius developing all natural engineered cleaning materials. Some of these other companies you see here, you're actually going to hear pitch today that they're maybe not to market yet, will be by the end of the year. So you'll see a lot of consumer products, medical devices that are successfully taken to product or taken to market or very close to market, as well as a lot of clean tech, circular economy products. We're developing everything from electric vehicle batteries to off-grid lighting, microgrid technology, EV chargers, like with Dunamis Charge in Detroit, to recycled materials that are being used for building insulation, electric drive systems that go into marine vessels, automotive, and companies like Snowbotix that are developing all-electric autonomous snow removal. So with that said, let's get on with the program. Let's hear about some of these wonderful companies, and I'm going to bring Dennis back up to the stage.
Thank you, Dan. Good job. So let's get started. Quickly about my background, I was raised on a big dairy farm north of Lapeer. We shipped a ton of milk a day, and I have 6 brothers, and we ate like horses and worked our tails out, but we were also MacGyvers, always inventing and creating things to make things happen on the dairy farm, our business. From there, worked for General Motors Truck and Bus as an assembly line worker, moved up to management, so I was there when we started the Saturn Corporation. Of course, that's gone now, so you know how old I am. And then from there to the PepsiCo Corporation in manufacturing, then also the Clorox Corporation in manufacturing, blow molding, injection molding, CNC. Love making things. And then also 5 business startups. So most of those startups were about engineering, rapid prototyping, 3D printing, and casting, but making low volume parts. So I'm truly honored to be here to help people who have great ideas, get them from a great idea into a market viable product. So the Micromakers Evolution Lab and mission here is basically, we want to be able to empower underserved and underrepresented people, especially on the product-based side, because there's so many opportunities out there in our great state of Michigan to empower people from all walks of life. Many times they don't have that opportunity because no one's ever went to them and say, here's some resources for you to consider. So that's really our mission here. Inclusion is important to us because we want to empower innovation, we want to empower prosperity and getting people involved, and also improving our local economy. The services that we offer is huge, and in fact, I even brought some notes about the one here. So many people come to us with a great idea and say, I have this great idea, all I need is money. And we all kind of chuckle, yeah, okay, but we need to do more than that. We need to be prepared. We got to pave the path for that, right? So one of the things we do is we help them first identify what it is that they have that they want to create. Is there a market opportunity? Have they conducted a customer discovery to find out, before you go out and say, I've got this great idea, will you buy it? Perhaps you might want to find out, where are the gaps in the market? Where are the challenges? Where are the blocks? Where are the opportunities? Maybe they don't even know of these up front, and you might need to help them figure that out. Then, once you've collected that information, now create a potential solution in the form of a product, and that might be a minimum viable product. It could be a proof of concept in the form of an image that gets the point across, that this is what we're striving for. Join the wait list to learn more once we get traction. We also provide lots of coaching and mentoring along the way as well. Many of you who are in our groups would say yay to that because you've been begging for that for some time before you came here and you never could find it, right? Intellectual property search and support through Ward Law, product development support, and then also value engineering, design for manufacturability to make sure that the product is designed for that manufacturing process and to be cost effective. Manufacturing readiness, tooling support, connection to Michigan suppliers. Hey, keep it here in Michigan, right? There's lots of suppliers that could be available to help with your manufacturing. Testing and material selection, and of course, go-to-market strategy. We don't go to the market without first testing the market. Then you take it to the market. And then of course, then you get to the funding sources. The Micromakers Evolution Lab acceleration programs, we have 2 key programs. And the one is called Idea to Product, and that's really focused on venture formation, and then also the customer creation and growth. The venture formation side is the early stage, trying to get traction, trying to understand what the market challenges are, and from there evolve forward. What we do, this has really inspired me when we started doing this, is that we look at what's called a business model canvas. And the business model canvas is looking at least 9 different areas that you can vet and validate this idea first so that you can confirm if you truly have a scalable and repeatable business model. If you get to that point where it's scalable and repeatable, there's early stages of it, now you perhaps have an opportunity to go next steps and next level. Some of those things we look for or help people with is customer segments, your target customer groups, value proposition. What is it that you offer those customers that solves their problem from their perspective, not just yours? The channels that you're looking at, customer relationships, key resources, revenue streams. They figure, well, I got this product, all kinds of money will come in. It's not that easy. And then also key activities and partnerships that will help you get the traction that you're looking for, and then also the cost structure to make that happen. Here's an example of the idea to product roadmap that we call, it's an overview. This is a 12-week program that we take the early stagers through. And again, we're talking about the business model canvas, the value propositions, customer segments, revenue streams, partners, and lessons learned as well. We're going to show a quick video here, and this video is about a minute or so, 2 minutes, and it's a encapsulation of the people that have been through this program as well as others who have joined up in our organization through the New Economy Initiative and or the City of Southfield Evolution Lab. So if we could kick off that video now, please.
Hello, my name is Dante Williams.
My name is Sonia Futura.
I'm Barbara Lyons.
I'm Dennis Atkinson.
My name is Brandon Martin.
Welcome to Electric Outdoors.
I invented the ergonomically designed Premier carpet cutter.
The world's first sustainable induction-powered stove for cooking your food and coffee on the go.
All-in-one device that rakes, grabs, and picks up leaves and debris effortlessly.
The Easy Folding Bracket was designed to make storing heavy or lightweight items easier.
Our core product, Heads Up, provides an innovative technology that teaches situational awareness in an easy and repeatable manner.
We focus on making it safer for the transportation and storage of high-powered lithium-ion battery systems.
The Caddy is the ultimate organizational solution for professional barbers that keeps all of your tools in one convenient location.
Enter the future of camping, the EO Canopy. It charges your vehicle, provides fresh water, and takes care of your waste.
You would be better off having a dish refrigerator into your home that's designed just for dishes to keep them cool.
The Wagon Tail Pet Spa helps pet owners and pet groomers enjoy the most efficient way to wash their pets with reduced back pains and while saving time and saving money.
Magic Box makes a dumb machine smart at the touch of a button. For the coffee enthusiast who enjoys that traditional espresso shot, the Magic Box from Detroit Crema is for you.
So before we get started with the funding, I'd like to have the panel judges introduce themselves, if you will. Now we're going to put you on the spot. And say your name and what organization you're from, if you could. So we'll start with Jason, please.
Good afternoon. Jason Barnett, Senior Vice President of Lending for Invest Detroit. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Rochelle Freeman. I'm the Business and Economic Development Director for the City of Southfield.
And I'm Ken Cyber, Southfield Mayor.
Wafa Denaro, the Executive Director for the New Economy Initiative.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Herb Drayton. I'm the Executive Director for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Detroit location.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Grant. I'm the Director of the Detroit Development Fund Microloan Fund.
Let's have a hand for the panel of judges, please. You know, it's interesting. Everybody's busy. We all know that. You're going 150 miles an hour, but what's really cool is that you all took the time out of your day and your schedule and decided to come here, and I didn't have to beg you. You're just like, heck yes, I'm there. Absolutely, count me in. What do I need to do? So we really, really appreciate that support from you, for sure. Thank you. So with that said, now we'd like to evolve into our interview with our New Economy Initiative, Wafa Denaro, and Executive Director, and also our Mayor, Ken Cyber, to talk about our funding insights. So if you could come up, please. Hi, Wafa. How you doing? Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Just have a seat here, you will.
All right.
Mayor Cyber, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. So we're not going to put you on the spot, but we are going to ask some questions, okay? So first of all, we'll start with you, Wafa. First of all, thank you for the support that you offer to our clients and our organization. In fact, if it wasn't for your organization, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here over the last 4.5, almost 5 years, paving the path with new products here in Michigan. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So for those who are less familiar with your organization, Wafa, can you provide some details of the New Economy Initiative, please?
Absolutely. So the New Economy Initiative is a funder collaborative that was created in 2007 to really diversify the regional economy. A group of funders came together and said, our economy is not resilient, we're too dependent on auto, and we have to figure out a way to make our economy more diverse and more resilient. So they put $100 million into a fund and said, run with it. And we've ran with it. The NEI has kind of gone through a couple iterations, and right now we're really focused on funding the small business ecosystem, organizations like Centropolis that are the ones actually doing the work, and really providing all of the services to small businesses. The idea behind NEI is if there is an entrepreneur with an idea or an entrepreneur who's already started a business, they should have access to all the resources to reach their full potential. We fully believe that the next Fortune 500 company is already here, and we just need to invest in them and make sure that they grow and reach and become the next unicorn company and really reach their full potential.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. So, Mayor Siver, how in the world did you become mayor of the city of Southfield? That's pretty awesome.
Well, it's a job I always wanted. I've lived in Southfield for 55 years and always been an active citizen, starting neighborhood activism, environmental issues, teacher, school administrator, councilman, mayor for the past 8 years.
That's awesome. Thank you. So another question for you. What is the goal of the Southfield Evolution Lab from your perspective?
Well, one of the things that I get asked is, why is the city, with various needs that we have, why is the city spending money on this? And we recognize that this university is a great anchor in the city of Southfield. We also are very aware of the talent that comes out of this university through the business, engineering, architectural, and now medical science programs. And we want to see that talent stay in Michigan. Mm-hmm. I can tell you as a former high school teacher and school administrator, I watched kids go through Southfield schools and they went all over. Sure. They didn't stay in Michigan. They didn't stay in Southfield. And we need that talent here. So that's one of the reasons. The other is we're a business hub. And so we want to see people thrive, and you have to start someplace. I think that it's sort of a mistake when we look at what's happened with the brain drain and shifting things, making things overseas. You know, I think we're hurting from that, and that we need to bring this back here. So we're very supportive of the Evolution Lab because a lot of people have great ideas, but how do you make the idea into reality? I think of last year with the carpet. I'm forgetting the name of he was breaking his back, and yet every day he was going out and replacing carpet, and he said, you know, I know a better way to do this. Yep. But how do you get that off the ground? Right. And that's where the Evolution Lab comes in.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. So speaking of getting things off the ground, Wafa, what is your take on the Centropolis Accelerator and the Micromakers program to Made in Michigan products?
We love Centropolis. I mean, Dan has been just an incredible leader and has brought on an incredible team. And you guys are doing amazing work. I mean, we are seeing the results. We're seeing all the successful businesses that are coming out of Centropolis. And it's a niche that wasn't filled, and you guys have taken it and really put your arms around it and have done it incredibly well. This is really, Centropolis has become like a national model, and we're getting people from all over the country to come here to get access to the services that are provided by Centropolis. And this is what it's all about. We want to grow the regional population. We want to be able to attract the brightest and smartest people to come to Michigan and to start their businesses here, to manufacture their products here, and ultimately grow and hire people here in our region.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing. So, Mayor, another question here. Where would you like to see the Southfield Evolution Lab in 5 to 10 years from now?
Well, first of all, I think the Evolution Lab is grad school. It's a continuing education program. I can't sit here today and say what new issue is going to come up or what's going to involve, but we know things are going to happen and people will need support. We're supporting the Evolution Lab because we saw other resources disappearing and thought this is important. And again, capturing the talent that's at this university as well as in the metro area. So I think I don't have a crystal ball, but the things that I've seen so far come out of here, very, very impressive. And there's always going to be people that have a new idea, a new problem to solve. The evolution of, and again, as we look through history, it's a continuing evolution of ideas and products and technology and so on. So I think the Evolution Lab is a great learning and great resource for startups and young entrepreneurs who they need a lift. I think of the expression that we have a great partnership with Habitat for Humanity, and it's not a handout. Is their logo or their bylaw? It's not a handout; it's a hand up.
Hand up.
And that's exactly what the Evolution Lab does.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. One last question, Wafa. So, where do you see the New Economy Initiative program in 5 to 10 years?
That's a really good question. Ultimately, we want to see ourselves out of a job. We want the Michigan economy and small businesses to be so successful that there's no need for the New Economy Initiative. I'm not sure that's realistic in 5 to 10 years. I think we're going to continue to do this work. We're going to continue to support organizations like Centropolis and constantly evolve and look at what organizations we can bring to Southeast Michigan to continue to support entrepreneurs. Ultimately, entrepreneurs are always at the center of the work we do, and they will continue to be at the center of all of our decision making and all of our programming.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate this time, and if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be a conduit to our can do it, would we? Thanks again. We appreciate it. Okay, thanks. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. We appreciate your time today. We're going to move on now to our presentations, which you've all been waiting for. Now, this is your opportunity not only to experience the presenters who are presenting, but most importantly, what does this mean for you on the journey that you're on, possibly with a new product concept that you're wondering how to navigate that pitch process. So what to expect today, of course, they're going to have a brief introduction. This is 4 minutes. Brief introduction, followed by what is the customer problem, and then also their solution and why. And then also, they're going to talk about the competition, because there is competition out there. We need to recognize that. And then the traction that they're getting so far, their core team to help them make this happen, and then also the market opportunity, and finally, their next step action plan. So with that said, session 1 is we're going to have 4 presenters, and the first one is Detroit Crema. If anybody likes coffee, you'll want to listen to this one. And also ESSPI, for those of you who are wondering how we protect our batteries for safety. This is a really nice one as well. Next one is Snowbotix. I know we're in Michigan, we're done with snow now, but they got some other plans in place as well beyond the snow. And then also Nesin with the folding bracket. So with that said, we're going to start with our first presenter. Before she comes up, is anyone here ever in the morning, like you make your cup of coffee and go, oh, this tastes pretty good, but it just doesn't taste like the cup of coffee I'd want? Well, she's going to share with you, Jody will share with you how to make a cup of coffee that you won't forget. Jody, welcome. This is forward.
Okay.
This is reverse.
Okay. Forward and reverse.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Forward.
wait till these guys get out. Hello, everyone. So I'm Jody Kruger, founder of Detroit Crema. As Dennis said, who out here loves a good cup of coffee? How about espresso? Let's talk about the rise of the coffee culture. So recent trends have created this desire to have a cafe experience in the home. Many have invested in prosumer quality equipment to make that happen. And the prosumer equipment is that combination of professional cafe quality equipment scaled down for home use for the consumer, so it's prosumer. But this equipment's not easy to master. So let's look at Eric. Eric's part of the millennial group that's driving this growth in the segment. He's very tech savvy, he loves to experiment, and he's invested a lot in his home cafe setup. But he still struggles to pull a good shot of espresso. These machines, you can't just push a button and magically end up with a good cup of espresso, because there's multiple variables that go into that and can affect the quality. So that's why we've developed the Magic Box. It controls that full process from pre-infusion to when you turn off that machine. It helps you dial it in till you reach perfection, and then you save and store that profile for later use. But that chase doesn't end there. You continue practicing and experimenting, trying different beans, different roasts, and continuing to build your profiles and your library for later use. There's no other unit like this on the market, so your options would be to either do the modification or DIY option, but those out there right now take high technical skills and special tools. Or you have to buy a machine that already has these features integrated. So it's missing some slides here, sorry. So the team, I've got myself, over 30 years of business experience, and then I have manufacturing and some marketing experience, plus the team from Centropolis that supports me. And then as far as my traction and roadmap, right now we've just about got our working MVP ready of the Magic Box. And we've got designs for some accessories, and we've engaged with a designer to help us build out a whole line of accessories and espresso machine. So we're looking at launching 2 pilots of the Magic Box before end of the year, one with the coffee machine and one without, and then some espresso tampers in the market too to test those. And then looking at 2024 and beyond, we've got plans to fully customize an existing machine, and then I've met with 2 local roasters regarding private labeling some coffee beans under our brand, and then we plan to go to Rancilio, who's making the first machine we're working with, to see about a possible partnership opportunity because we're using the guts of their machine and they don't have their own line of accessories. And then beyond that, we'll develop a cloud app so people can join the community and share their profiles amongst each other. And then after that, see how we might be able to monetize the data that we capture. So sorry, you didn't get to see along those slides, but are there any questions? Sure, I'm sorry, Wafa first. Oh. Well, the bean chemistry, their origin, their roast, and the water chemistry itself do affect the actual result too, but those are out of our control, so I can't really address that. We're just focusing on what our unit control with the machine itself.
Right, but what I'm thinking is once I've dialed in my taste on this thing, now I've got a new load of beans that have different characteristics. I have to go back and redo my setup.
You're saving your setting for that particular bean, but that's how I say that the chase never ends. You're always chasing that next shot. So you've got your recipe settled for that particular bean and roast you liked, and then as you try new roasts, try new beans, try new origins, then yeah, you have to retweak to get to your recipe again, but you keep saving those and building your library as you go.
Make sure we have the questions come from the judges. So thank you, but yeah. So if we get questions from the judges, please. Thank you.
I had one.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions.
Yes.
Can this connect with any machine? And if so, what are the requirements? And what is the market here? What is the market and?
Okay, the market sizing. I did have a slide on that too. So it eventually will connect to many. We're starting out with one machine, the Rancilio Sylvia. It's kind of a lower entry level into the prosumer market, affordable, high sales volume, and people like to modify it. That's what kind of this community we're going after is the ones who like to modify. So, but with the Magic Box, we can grow with you. As you update and upgrade your machine, it'll just be a matter of a new wire harness, new sensors, so you take the unit with you and just connect. So as far as connecting, the ease of it, we anticipate maybe 10 minutes time to retrofit. You'll be taking the housing off the unit, the wire harness, making the connections, and then you're ready to brew with the Magic Box. So it's a quick thing. Market sizing, I can't quote the numbers right off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I can't. And but we're the immediate early targets, early evangelists we're going after are those users of the Rancilio Sylvia.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else from the panel?
I'm a coffee drinker, but I've found over the years it doesn't always agree with me. So how do you modulate the strength of this? Is it through the bean? Or, you know, some people cringe at this, but I put hot water in my coffee to dilute it.
Well, no, that's the Americano. That's what
Yeah.
people do to get the taste more like the Americans like,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, it is, there's just so many variables that go into it to get the perfect on your palate, but your palate's different than hers, is different than his.
And that's basically my question then. Is there a way to set this machine so you can gear it to your own taste?
Not right from the start. I think part of walking it through this process of dialing in, you're training it to know what you like. So as you try different beans and roasts, you'll be able to duplicate it easier because you know what it took you to get to your first recipe, shall we say.
Have you done any analysis on the capital needed in order to bring your product to market?
No, I haven't. My mind's not really on investors at this point. We're still building our MVP. It's not working yet, and probably next year when we've validated it and see what kind of traction we have and how the accessories, and if we're going to go for launching a machine, once I've got a better idea of that traction and where we might be heading, then I'll look more into investments, but I'm just not there yet.
Let's give a big hand to Jody from Crema. So Jody, thank you very much for being the first presenter. I know that can be tough when you're the first one. Just again, so we have 4 minutes of the presentation, 4 minutes of Q&A. Remember, we have a People's Choice Award later, so pay attention to the presenters because you'll want to kind of identify who are the top ones that you want to vote for, okay? Now our next presenter is Dennis Atkinson from ESSPI. Dennis?
Test. Nope. Do I need to? There we go. Excellent. I want to, good afternoon. Thanks to Centropolis and the team here for inviting me to speak this afternoon. Thanks also for the recent Idea to Product program that we went through. I see a number of graduates here with us as well today. So I'm here today to talk about our battery logistics integrated safety system. We've all read reports about battery fires, Teslas, vapors, vaping equipment, even hoverboards and the like. What we're now seeing that the mobility space is becoming electrified very quickly. Battery issues are now following with that. New York City pretty much has a weekly fire report. If there's some major fire, some catastrophe. Here's a photograph of a former bike store in New York City and totally devastated. We've talked to dozens of bike store owners and the like. What we've discovered is that they're very anxious. They know that there are risks out there. They don't understand the risks. They also know that the solutions that are out there right now are not sufficient to solve their problems. There's an opening for us there in terms of our competition. The city is struggling in terms of how do we deal with these issues. One of the proposals is to outlaw unsafe batteries, even though that's not been defined at this point. So where we're coming in is we have a solution. We're calling it Battery Logistics Integrated Safety System. It's the only comprehensive safety system on the market today. There are a lot of simple insulated boxes that limit some of the risks, but not all the risks. What we're offering customers are peace of mind, something which is there 24/7, monitoring the state of the batteries. If there is an issue, it will automatically respond to the battery owner, the shop owner, even first responders is all part of that. And that's what we're selling, is this peace of mind. To date, we've gotten a lot of interest from different industries. Being in Detroit here, of course, the automotive industry has shown a strong interest in safer container systems. E-mobility is now coming to the forefront, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the talk. We're also seeing battery testing laboratories and manufacturing facilities, realizing now that there are risks associated with their batteries and they want to do something. We've gotten some traction. We've gotten the U.S. Department of Transportation to fund us a phase 1, and now we're halfway through a phase 2 grant. And with that, we're actually having them coming up next week for a visit. We've built a prototype. Actually, this is the second prototype. Centropolis helped us build a first prototype. We had this one manufactured here locally as a demonstration of what a mobility locker might look like. This might be used, for example, to deliver batteries to a site and store them once they're on site for servicing. We're seeing the market driven by standards, rules, and guidelines. We're in a number of leadership positions on these committees, Underwriters Laboratory and Society of Automotive Engineers, for example. We actually testified before the New York City Council on some of the safety issues as well. Word has gotten around and customers are interested in us. We are in the process of nailing down 8 orders locally for e-mobility manufacturing facilities and testing facilities. So we're excited about that. And as part of our SBIR grant, we had market size research done by Foresight. And just looking at this market segment and this technology, there's quite large opportunities there for us. Globally, over $6 billion, just looking at the mobility charging space. On the retail side, there's also huge opportunities for us, tens of millions of dollars out there at this point. Again, this market doesn't yet exist, and we think we're well positioned to take advantage of that. Here's our team. I'm an engineer by background. My co-founder is an ex-Detroit firefighter. We have a pretty good reputation in the field, and want to thank you for your attention. We also wanted to point out that one of the issues that's coming up, in addition to the retail side, is the residential side in New York. There's a lot of gig workers that deliver food. Here's a photograph of one of the workers. They typically will carry around a dozen batteries to go through their day. They go home and charge these at night in their basements. And when that happens and one of the batteries does catch fire, it's a risk to the entire building. And so we're now talking to them about residential options. So with that, thank you very much. And I'll open for questions.
Good job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, judges.
With a market that size, what are you doing to protect your intellectual property, and what about competition? It would seem like there's others that may not be waiting around for you to get in market.
So we see opportunities in partnerships. We had a visit this morning from an Israeli company that's expert in containers. The two of us are not container makers. We feel like if we can take our smarts and put it into somebody else's container system, that's a powerful package. And it is a market opportunity for us to jump into pretty quickly. So on the locker side, there are existing manufacturers that are out there. We're talking to one company called Parcel Pending. It's like the Amazon locker system. The idea is you put your device in there, you get a code, you're able to take it back out again. So we see the opportunity in so many areas as partnerships.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I'm not following something.
Sure.
So I understand the need, and recently came from Mackinac Island where they're not allowing electric bikes for that very reason. So where is the battery is, let's say, from a bicycle. You put it in the storage. Where do you store it?
So we talked, for example, in the case of residential storage for the batteries, you would have an e-bike, you would come to your apartment, take the battery out of the bike, put it into our locker system.
And that's my question, where is the locker system?
We envision that this would be in the lobby, make it as easy as possible for people to get access to the battery.
Okay,
And
it's not outside?
It could be outside.
Okay.
New York City, for example, is looking at using a lot of old newsstands and repurposing those as charging centers. So it could be indoors or it could be outdoors.
Okay.
But the idea is we want to promote ease of use as much as possible.
Thank you.
Dennis, could you also
Sure.
Address your funding strategy and how you're going to pursue the kind of resources you need to really bring it to market?
So we have, as I mentioned, an SBIR grant at this point, so we're about halfway through the funding on that. We're in the process of getting 8 units out there right now. That'll give us some bootstrap money to develop that product line further. We're looking for investment money to come in from other sources to help us. We see that this platform technology can be applied in so many other areas. For automotive batteries, it would require scaling it up to a larger size. We've looked at other ones, for example, in battery recycling. We have something which would work with oil drums. We see the technology could be applicable to fire blankets and so many other things. So there are other needs out there, and our intelligence and smarts could be the answer for a lot of them.
One more question. The judges?
Sure.
Regulatory compliance. I'm sorry, regulatory compliance. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but seeing as how this has to do with fire, and it sounds like your market is more geared towards governmental agencies or large corporations. Have you looked into that, and what does that look like?
So on the regulatory side, as I mentioned earlier, we're on a UL 1487. This is a committee that's in the process right now of defining what the standards are for containers. What's happened is the authorities having jurisdiction, or fire marshals, are relying upon these standards to go ahead and set safety standards for localities. So they're dependent upon these standard rules and guidelines to get out to the marketplace. They're not going to do this unless we can validate that our technology works reliably and as we say it does. So it's kind of a multi-step strategy, but that's why we're so active on these committees, to make sure that the standards are written and that they are applicable.
Great.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Thanks. Okay, our next presenter is Sashi from Snowbotix. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sashi Prabhakaran. Yeah, Dr. Sashi. So thank you so much, Dennis, Dan, Pedro, and Central Police team for putting this together. This is really amazing. And I'm here today to talk about my startup, Snowbotix. So I'm getting into that one. So here at Snowbotix, we are building electric multi-utility robotic platform for automating labor-intensive and hazardous outdoor chores, primarily to address labor shortage and the greenhouse emission. So there are always we have the wish and the need, and at Snowbotix we are primarily looking into the need part. everybody needs to address some problem, and that's what like we are dealing here. So the biggest problem in this industry is labor shortage. That is the primary reason like contractors were not able to find laborers for $35 an hour, like going up 3 in the morning, shoveling all the sidewalks, keeping the community and the environment like clean. It's not happening for them, so they're having a hard time. And again, manual thing tends to have like unpredictability in terms of cost and in terms of the consistency in the snow removal thing. And again, like almost like 99% of all the contractors and all the equipments currently used for snow removal or like cleaning are gas power. And yeah, they don't come with catalytic converter. It emits a lot of the greenhouse emissions, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Yeah, a lot of things. So there is one big problem that I didn't mention here, but anyone wants to guess what is the biggest problem with all these like unclean or uncovered like sidewalk is it's mobility. See, we have to enable mobility, and the last mile mobility is always by foot. Like you go to your place, like you stop your car, but you have to get down, like you have to walk. And that's where like mobility is a big issue, whether you go to your office, school, your marketplace, or whatever it is, like we have to have clean like and like more accessible like walkways. And that's what like Snowbotix is like all about. So as a solution, like we have developed an all-electric robotic platform. It's for like all-terrain, all-season like applications. Like during the same equipment, like our users like will be like using it for snow removal during the winter, and during summer they'll be using it for like cleaning, and also like grass cutting. So our robots is like 100% automated, like it requires minimal to no human intervention, so the labor shortage is being well addressed. And yeah, it does like, because of automation, like it does like consistent and like repeated type of like repeatability in the operation, and also zero tailpipe emission. So when it comes to this market validation, yeah, so we have came kind of to this like design and the process like with the customer discoveries that we did. Like we did more than 200 customer discoveries, and the state like realized there is a big need for these things, so they invested like $200,000 in terms of grant for deploying our robots in 6 different locations in the UP. And we also like have commitment for like almost like $50,000 last year and another like $50,000 this year in terms of revenue. And yeah, something that is not mentioned here is like we got our pre-seed round like just like last week. So it's not in the deck actually. So yeah, so it shows like there is a good traction, and people kind of do need actually what we are doing. So we have done like pilots last year with the Grand Rapids Airport, like in LTU campus, and few other like private like residential and commercial properties. So it's all become a success, and most of them are going to become our like actual customers, because we are the one who can are competitively advantageous than the rest in the market, and we are the only one in the US. Made in Michigan, like so the only one like we're building like a small form factor but still powerful equipment for all season like autonomous like maintenance. So the market is so big for us because like we do like all season. So every landscaping company at one point they're going to own a piece of our equipment, at least one. So we are planning for 10 for each customer. That's what we are working on now. So in the next couple of years, we're trying to target our obtainable market, which is like the Northeast and Midwest US market. And we are expecting around like $24 million that market values. And yeah, we definitely will be capturing that market definitely in the next 2 years. And our business model is like a RaaS, like a robot as a service. Like so we lease our hardware and our software. Our software comes with so many add-on services, like I will be able to talk about later. But now, which we could keep it short, like this is the team that's doing this thing. Like myself, like I have almost more than a decade of experience in robotics. I have a PhD in doing these things. And yeah, I have developed various technologies related to autonomous unmanned systems funded by NSF, DOD, states. And here we have my co-founder, Ervik. Like he's kind of having like vehicle dynamics experience, like EV experience, and wonderful like advisors, Dan, and our investor, Nalin. So this is the timeline. We started the company. The ideation came while we're walking in an unclean like sidewalk in 2021. Yeah, then we built a prototype, MVP, first customer, 2022. We now have almost like $700,000 in terms of like cash flow with the other investments and the state grant. and revenue. And the next year, we are going to go into low volume production. We are building 10 units for the 10 customers who lined up. And 2025, we'll be going for a volume production. So we're expecting 4 to 5 million in terms of revenue. And that's what I have for today. So I have lots of videos, all the demos of all these things. Everything is on our YouTube channel. Please do check it out. And yeah, I'm open for any questions.
Good, great. Great presentation. Thank you. Okay, judges, questions?
This is great. It's like the Roomba for outside.
Yeah, Roomba for outdoor. Exactly, you got it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the pilots? Like you said, you did a pilot with the airport. Can you?
So the airport, so that's an interesting pilot. So initially we thought they are very much interested in snow removal because in the Grand Rapids Airport, they have this flight program where they are testing out how the future technology can help their workforce. And what we discovered from the pilot is so the application of snow removal robots, our product is beyond snow removal. So what they asked us, we are doing an extended 6 months demo with them, a pilot with them, so in which we are going to try snow removal, the cleaning, and also tugging the aircraft from the hangar to the runway. Because they want to cut down on this greenhouse emission and they don't want to turn on the airplane's turbine when it is on the hangar. So we are going to see whether our robot can handle those type of things. So with airports, they have they came up with all these other suggestions. So you shouldn't just do snow removal, you have to do other things. Because safety is the biggest priority in airports, and that's why cleaning is a big thing. Even a small piece of metal or something, the safety pins or cans, the bottle cans, anything, if it gets into this runway, it's a kind of a hazard, it's a safety hazard. So they are in a mission to keep their environment clean from all these things. So that's why the same equipment will be doing snow removal as well as cleaning and also tugging the aircrafts.
And just to follow up, it's the same robot that will do all of it?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Also, we built, actually in our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see really good videos. So we were able to push almost 3 feet of wet snow just in the LTU campus. That's where we did our internal testing, and the robot just cleans everything. And yeah, Dan should thank me because last winter I cleaned all their parking lot for free. I didn't get any money for that one. So we were testing the endurance of a battery pack and how long it's going to take, whether it can do totally unsupervised. Yeah, we were able to validate all those things. And yeah, end of the day, he got everything clean for free.
So what is the cost of that type of machine? And for, just say for instance, the airport or LTU, am I leasing it? Am I purchasing it? Can you walk me through the model as it pertains to me as a customer?
So yeah, so we are doing robot as a service in which you just lease the service. So for us to build this robot, currently it is costing around 36 grand because we are doing artisan products, all a high-end thing. But we are now working on a scaled production model, so in which we are trying to get everything less than $20,000. But actually, usually the airports, especially with the Grand Rapids Airport, just for the sidewalk, they spend around $200,000 a year for cleaning those things. That is on the cheapest side if that is not big of snow. But usually, any properties with almost 2 miles of sidewalk, they end up spending $150,000 or $200,000 in snow removal. And we will be doing that for not too less. We'll be doing that for $100,000. We have some breakouts on the hourly usage. And more than the snow removal, we also provide them with the other added service, how much of snow we removed, how much salt, the before and after photographs, and how consistent, because they usually get the slip and fall claims from the insurance things. So yeah, we have to be providing with all the reports, this is cleaned at this time. So yeah, he's cheating on us, he's not he didn't actually slip and fall there. So yeah, we are providing all those services, and each service costs some sort of money for that one.
Are there any challenges on how much snow, any capacity size and how much snow the machine can push?
So consider this as a Roomba for outdoors. So this will be placed in a property in an asset, and it will never let any snow accumulation. It can handle up to 3 feet of wet snow. That's what we have tested. But this can capable of doing even more than that. But again, we don't want any snow to accumulate. So few of our customers, especially the airports, they have something called the zero tolerance policy. All the box stores, the big box stores like Walmart or hospitals, they all have the same policy. They don't even want like a single inch or like any like traces of snow. So they always want it to be like clean. And that's why like our equipments are like multifunctional. So we put the plow in the front and put a broom and salt spreader in the back. And yeah, it's always like bare to the pavement, like cleanliness.
I'm just curious, building on the Roomba for outside analogy, how autonomous is the vehicle?
Oh, it's like the equipment is like capable of level 5 autonomy, which means it can do pretty much everything. That's part of my patent. Like I worked almost like 14 years on that one. So, but yeah, just for the sake of some liability, so what we are trying to do is like we deploy everything autonomously, but we have a human supervisor taking care of like overseeing like 5 to 10 robots at the same time. Because like, again, like there should be a human component just for the sake of liability. If something goes wrong, like they want to blame someone, we cannot blame the autonomy stack. So we have a human supervisor, so he'll be able to supervise like usually 5 to 10 robots, and in the future it will be scaled. And because most of the things with our customers are like already known parts, and we know how that environment, how dynamic it's going to get, and if there is any obstacle, yeah, the robot can recognize that one, it can stop. And if there is pet, human, like we have this autonomy stack built, so it can just recognize what type of like obstacles it's seeing, and it will be able to come up with a mitigation plan. And still, it won't do anything all by itself. It can do, but still, it will be asking the human supervisor, hey, can I do this one? If he says yes, yeah, then it will do that one. Yeah.
One final question. You did, I think on your maybe last or next to last slide, you talked about your reaching 4 to 5 million in revenues by 2025.
Yeah.
So what's your big first step to get on the path? What's your next implementation
So
step?
this year, like, so now we have doing our pre-seed round. We almost got around $700,000 to build like 10 to 15 newer generation models. Yeah, Centropolis team is helping us doing all this like vehicle dynamics and other things. So with this one, we already have like 12 customers like committed, like with LOIs for buying our robots and testing it out in the field. So this is going to give us like so we're going to validate the cost model. So because we don't know how much to charge them. We don't want to be so low and we don't want to be super high. So we wanted to come up with this cost model. So that's why we have partnered with a Michigan-based like landscaping company. They are the largest landscaping company in Michigan called DJ Landscaping. So we're going to give like 5 of our units to them, and they're going to deploy in all their like with their clients, and they're going to do the cost model analysis. Okay, so I'm replacing human laborers with the 5 robots. How much of cost saving they are getting? So that is how like we will be able to come up with this one. So that's where we are going into this one. But based on the previous assumption, we think like we can easily go into this 4 to 5 million like annual revenue just for. And again, all these things are just for snow removal, because we have good experience. The last 2 seasons, we're primarily working on the snow removal aspect. And only last like deployment, airports and few other customers asked like, hey, can you do cleaning and aircraft tagging? So that's why we are exploring that market. But this is all primarily for the snow removal market.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Thank you, Snowbotix. Good job. Thanks. You get the. Thank you. Okay, so thank you so hanging in there so far, judges. We really appreciate your support so far. I see a lot of grins and smiles and nods, so that's a good thing, I believe. So we're going to go into our next presenter, but before I do that, just remember People's Choice Award later on, so kind of keep an eye on the presenters today. Remember, if it wasn't for the funding that we receive as an organization from the New Economy Initiative and the City of Southfield Evolution Lab, we wouldn't be here. So this is just a couple of examples of the progress that we're making as a result of that funding. So our next presenters are Lou and Draga Nesin from Easy Folding Bracket. Okay. So all you need to do is you push that button to go forward and push this to go backward.
This one?
No, that one to go forward.
This one to go backwards.
Yep. Okay.
Hello, my name is Lou Nesin. This is my wife and my business partner, Draga Nesin. We are co-founder of Nesin LLC. Easy Folding Bracket, it's one organizing bracket. For those who have a garage and a lot of clutter and messy, and your wife begging you all the time to clean them up, we created easy folding bracket, the easy way to organize. Right. After I searching so many stores, I cannot find nothing to fit our needs. It was too flimsy, too bulky, or limited capabilities. And with my experience, I decide, like a welder and fabricator, I decide to create heavy-duty bracket.
Landscaping, there's other products out there on the market, but ours is heavier. It holds over 50 pounds. The current market, it's up to 50 pounds, and it doesn't have the mechanism to fold fold upwards as a space saver. Our easy folding bracket allows customers to store heavy-duty items. It's extra strong, it's robust, it's and it holds over 100 pounds. It folds, it's a space saver. It folds flush against the wall when not in use as a space saver, when you don't need to, if you don't want to hit your head or if it's in the way, you can always fold it up as a space saver. Easy installation. It only has 3 screws for the installation, and no need for any other tools or anything. It's pretty easy to install it, and it goes flush against the wall. It's a cost saving as far as by only using one product instead of using multiple or other products. Our solution is to have an industrial, for the most convenient, durable, cost-effective product organization solution. As you can see, it's very sturdy, it's made out of steel, and it holds golf clubs, multiple golf clubs, bags, leathers, kayaks, canoes, tires, and many more. Our target market is B2B, Home Depot, Lowe's, the Container Store, and Do It Best. Our market size is 30.7 heavy duty. Most people on the market, they're always looking for heavy duty storage solution. Our serviceable, obtainable market is 3.9 mil. Our traction to date, we already have a utility patent, 90K bootstrap investment. We already have an inventory of 60 pieces ready to sell. 600, I'm sorry. 600 pieces ready to sell. We have our landing page and website that was created. And we already did 97 interviews for customer discovery. And we received a certificate of completion for the idea to product cohort.
For the next 6 months, we wanted to obtain 5 local pilots, 10 LOIs, website, processing order, 2,000 followers on LinkedIn, and by end of the year, we want to sell 500 brackets. Our team is advisor Danny Shaver and Rachel Everett. And thank you. Any questions?
I just want you to know that I've actually used 2 of these from one of my garage wall, and I've hung upside down on it, so I'm over 100 pounds, so that definitely works. Go ahead, Judge, questions?
Yeah, so it's 100 pounds per bracket?
Yes.
And are you guys making these, or are there any plans to make them in different sizes?
Yeah, we have 2 different sizes.
Oh, you do?
13 and 9 inches, and everything is made in Michigan, 100%.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And who is your target? I mean, I know you're trying to sell it to Lowe's, but are you, I assume, like garage, men?
Home improvement retailers.
Actually, it's for you can use for businesses, or you can use for dorms, where it's smaller places, just for space saving.
We had some interest in the cargo field where, because of the foldable functionality, they feel that it's a space saver, that it's really useful for cargos too, cargo vans.
Do you have any direct-to-consumer plans?
Right now, our website is live and we're ready to take orders. So yes, we're just doing campaigns and email. We're planning on doing email campaigns and much more. Any other questions?
Well, since you, I believe you said you've already sold some in the market, or you've
We
got
did
some
not
out in
sell,
Okay,
not yet.
Not yet.
Only because we just turned on the SEO and all the functionality for the website. So our marketing, we're working with our marketing person to get that going.
Mm-hmm. The potential customers, though, that have tested it, what has been their feedback to you about the bracket itself?
Actually, yes, we did the customer discovery, and I asked them, about the bracket, and they say, but before, I don't want to sell them nothing. I just want to discover what's over there. And they said, no, you got to customize your own bracket. I said, did you guys have anything, for space saving? No, they say, you can just customize. But we already had this bracket, so we knew it already.
We created this bracket for our own purpose, and we thought that would be very beneficial for to go on the market for our customers.
And we want to actually manufacture in Michigan to create more jobs and to keep them here.
So right now, my husband has done this from A to Z, so we're able to save on building it. But if it was successful, we would like to find a manufacturing to produce it. So we're working to get quotes on that too.
Good.
Good job. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here's a great example of a local manufacturer who does welding services for people in this area here. It has customers in other states as well. And they found a way to utilize their own skills and abilities and technical skills and such to actually fabricate this on their own. They came to us with already a product that was started and made, but they had no idea how to get it to market and go from there. So we're working with them on the customer creation and growth program to look at create metrics that are measurable to achieve certain milestones by the end of the year. So rather than just saying we're going to sell 500 by the end of the year, this is what the strategy we're going to look at. They're going to look at social media. What can you start doing right now? Broadcast emails, phone calls, trade shows to get traction so they can take effective action to get to that end result of selling how many? At least 500. So with that said, now we're going to go into a break, a 15-minute break, so you can get up and move around, if you will. There's some refreshments. Where's the refreshments at? Back there in the back over there. And feel free to network as well. See you in 15 minutes. Thanks.